about him or what he's saying or whatever. He's got $1 billion and say what the hell I want to say.
This is what.
Any sort of ideology where people think that I should say or how I should say it, I can do whatever I want.
This is what my friend Bert just commented, that Trump is like a black guy because he just says anything he wants, and that's sort of his attraction. I think you have a point there, and that white people always consider what they're saying and are concerned. Is that sort of what you said? I could put you on video. You could be famous. He deserves to be famous. He deserves to be very famous.
But that's not just relegated to Trump. I mean, anytime somebody stands up, and they, Charles Barkley, one of those guys, he just says whatever he wants, you know what I mean? And he's able to say it because, for whatever reason, he's Charles Barkley. Everybody can't be that. Everybody can't do that. The reason why Trump is getting so much pub is because he's one of those guys who can say whatever he wants, idiotic or not, and people are still tuned in. It's like a plane crash.
Okay,
people want to watch to see whether this plane is going to crash on in the farm, is it going to crash in the barn. They know it's going to crash.
Most politicians are slightly lined up, respecting all the rules. He doesn't do that.
May I make a comment? Everything that Trump does is not BS, is not stupid. People are talking about the greatest problem in our society is money in politics. That there are people behind who contribute everything and control the individual. Trump is the only person right now who has an answer for it. He is not taking any super PACs, and he is the only man who is not doing this.
What about Sanders?
Sanders is not too. So there's a similarity between Sanders and Trump, even though they're seen as opposite ends of the spectrum. The other thing that Trump has addressed that no one else has, it's not only money, it is, my God, my memory, I can't grab it right now, but it's one thing that he has said that actually is rational, and he's able to do things, but when he doesn't, like when he talks about going a little slower on people, on the Syrians who we bring in, many people agree with that, but he puts it in a way that is not thought out. He says we're going to stop them all. So he doesn't care that he's vulnerable to being called a bigot. Because because he is able to blurt these things out, and people just attack him for it, they don't take the time to say, well, the root of the idea is worth examining. But
see, he doesn't care whether he doesn't care whether people like him, don't like him, whether he's supposed to say the right thing or whatever. Yeah. He has the whole Barnum and Bailey thing. If they're not talking about you, then you're not relevant. So I can say whatever I want. I can be as ridiculous. Michael Jackson used to do the same thing, you know what I mean? I'm sleeping with monkeys. You know what I mean? People are like, oh my God, can you believe Michael Jackson sleeping with a monkey? Yeah, it's because you're talking about him. He is in the news about how crazy he is, whatever he's doing. He's, you know what I mean, inviting kids to his place for the, you know what I mean? So it's like, as long as somebody's talking about you, and Trump kind of has that. You know, he's on television, reality television. He's all about you're fired or whatever. So he's building his brand. He doesn't care whether he becomes president.
Well,
he knows he's
never
not.
heard anybody talk the way he does.
That's exactly.
Oh, everybody loves me.
Exactly. He can say whatever.
Okay, but that's the.
Michael Jackson was on drugs a lot of the time, right?
But nobody says that Trump is, right?
Dude, who knows whether Michael Jackson was on drugs? Were you there? Were you and him shooting up at the same time?
I got the impression.
Well, people, you have all kinds of impressions. You want
he was pouring some wine into a Coke can.
Listen, unless you're in a room with somebody, unless you're there, people can say whatever they want. People can say whatever they want.
I don't know if anybody really is saying that. I don't know.
Another thing that Trump does is when he explodes about something, and it's really reprehensible. He described the deal he made to buy the Doran hotel in Doran, I think it's called, in Miami. It was completely unethical. He used his legal power, his clout, and when he describes some of the things that he does, he brings it into the public arena, whereas other people keep it quiet. They're doing other unseemly things that are legal but wrong, but because it's quiet and they do not just say what comes into their mind, they can never be addressed and taken into the public consciousness. So that's a value of what he's doing that is rarely discussed.
A billion seconds ago, it was 1959. That's how much a billion is. A billion is a lot. So when people hear somebody who's a billionaire, Ross Perot, people listen to him. You know, he was an idiot. But because he was a billionaire, people said, you know what? Jerry told George is a billionaire. When you have somebody who's making that kind of money, you can say the stupid, and people just, you know what? There must be something about what this guy says because he has $1 billion.
Now, that's one aspect, but they also don't have to worry about making a living. Because with that kind of money, even if somebody sues them, they have their own lawyers. They have more independence. And like he pointed this out, that the rest of the candidates, the Republican candidates, that's what he did at the first debate. They all have to beg for money from people like from the Koch brothers.
So they have to watch what they say and how they say it.
That's
because
correct.
They're not just representing. That's why Trump can get up and say, you know what I mean? I hate all black people, and he doesn't.
But he doesn't.
But he can say whatever he wants, and people be like, "Can you believe what Trump said?"
Not only that, because he has this ability, you know he doesn't hate black people. You know because it would have come out. There are enough things that we know about him that people can object to. That there's no indication that we don't know him and we don't know what his values are.
Trump loves him some Trump. Trump is all about me getting Trump out there. I'll say whatever it is that makes sure that you guys keep the attention on me because I'm the guy. So who cares about what Jeb Bush has to say? Who cares what Cruz has to say? They're not interesting people. You want somebody who's interested. I'm an idiot.
Well,
I'm an interesting idiot.
well, Mr. B, you sure as hell are interesting.